Hi, I'm Anna.
I'm Ben.
We're AutoSave. Welcome to our channel.
Today we're watching 86, Season 1, Episode 21. Last episode, I felt a little defeated at the end because we got the transmission from No Face to Pale Rider about them being aware that Kiri is being followed by Shin, and that makes me upset. I thought that at least we had that, but we don't.
Last episode was pretty emotionally great, emotionally terrifying from a viewer's perspective, but also a friend to Shin perspective. People that care about Shin watching last episode and really getting we have looks into his mindset and how he's acting and how he feels, and I feel like last episode was even more so like a really good look into his state of mind and how he feels like he exists within this world, and how he feels like in the future he can or cannot exist in this world. And it hasn't changed at all from when we previously had gotten glimpse or could theorize ideas of how he felt. And having that scene of just major confirmation for both a character in the universe, Frederica, and then us, the viewer, of where he stands in this moment, and knowing what you had just said in the opening of this intro about Kiri knowing that he's being followed, and the battle is coming. Yeah. The head-to-head. And knowing the mindset that our loved character that we're following is in this monumental emotional moment of face-to-face with Kiri.
There's so much that a mindset can do when it comes to survival, regardless of what situation you're in. And the desire to wanting to be alive is significant, but the desire to fight is just as significant. And at least we have that. That's where I'm at. Ready?
Yeah.
Sweet.
Frederica, お前、あのバカ以外は放っていけって言われて、そうできるか?
Hey Lena, how you doing? Where are you at? Can I hear from you? Can I see you soon?
Lena would love Frederica. Please
return this call if you check your voicemails. Bye.
Last episode, we started kind of teetering, at least the cast started thinking about the why, what does the Legion really want? As they were looking upon, like, nature that was unaffected by humans, like, is the no human involvement in the world and the beauty that comes from just the nature getting to exist, is that what the Legion wants? What does the Legion want?
More railroad tracks everywhere.
They want reliable and cheap transportation for all.
$15K. It knows you're coming.
Oh, they kind of use each other to prop up to shoot upward?
Fuck! Anju! Possible concussion, blunt trauma, extension. Oh my god.
Leave all the spare missile pods. Oh my god.
I don't want Anju to die.
On the way to Kiri, to the Morpho, or is everyone gonna just keep...
Oh.
What did she say?
Statue. Oh.
Someone's fallen. It's a group of people standing up and one fell off a fucking cliff. That's great. Awesome.
No.
We really are all just gonna... Look at it.
Jesus.
I thought that was a field of flowers, but is that just like...
God damn it. After last episode too.
Respecting their feelings, you know? Why is the Morpho so fucking cool? No!
No! Oh shit! Oh, look at the shrapnel.
Well, are you okay
It's
with
just
going with
Shin.
him? It's literally what Raiden asked Frederica. He asked if you could do this. I don't know if I can do this.
Oh no. Oh. Here we go.
It's a little late for that. The fact that it looks like a field of fucking flowers is insanity. Like he's a butterfly on top of it.
All that's left. Come on, Shen. Oh my
Wow,
God.
Frederica! Look how just empty and blank what he calls peaceful.
Damn.
こちら側に取り込みたいところだがそんな余裕はないか。
You're too strong to take that risk.
そこを貫くには近づくしかないのは理解するが。知ってる？ジンの伝説の0点。戦技教練の模擬戦中にバナルガンドを跳ねさせたんだ。衝突回避のためだったんだけど危険操縦で一発失格。
そうじゃ、あの時わらわは驚かなんだ。知っておったからじゃ。すでに本来なら不可能とされる軌道をフェルドレスでしてみせる者をもう一人。
What a match.
不用意に近づくでな。もともとそなたと同じ建設特化のオペレーターだ。
What?
Someone like you.
Oh shit! No, 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 no. Fido!
Not hard.
副兵装とも残存。これは罪かもな。
みんなが言って。あとよろしく。忘れなって。
What's he doing? What's he doing? What is that?
Lena?
今のうちにか。まだ邪魔を。
What the fuck?
Wow.
何が何でも近づけさせないつもりか。
Holy shit! Oh my god!
The hands!
なぜそこまでして戦う。なぜ何もかも殺戮しようとするのじゃ。
Seemed the
名も
blue.
知らず、顔さえも知らぬ。
決まっているではありませんか。俺にはもうこれしか残っていないからですよ。この身を焼き焦がす戦場しか。魂をも焼き尽くし、そのうつろでくすぶり続ける果てなき闘争の炎しか。あの日失ってしまったから、全てを、あなたさえも。お前も俺と同じ。俺のように。
Oh my god!
Be like me.
主君の顔を見忘れたか。キリアナーゼ。
姫様。
戦いをやめよ、キリ。そなたには戦う理由などない。もう良いのじゃ。ご苦労であった、我が騎士よ。
Hostage, and they use the oh my god, because she is their hostage.
キリ、やめよ、キリ。 が騎士よ、わらわを救ってみせよ。
姫様、姫様、何を。姫様、姫様、ようやくもう一度会えたのに。姫様、
The hands!
Point blank.
フレデリカ、
霧がおるのは主砲の後ろ、一対目の羽の間じゃ。
Oh my god.
She said they wouldn't get along. Oh my god! Oh my god.
Oh no.
Is he gonna... Oh my god. Oh my god. I thought he might override it or something.
To try to save Frederica or Shin?
Or
Both.
make sure there was a knight that was still alive to protect her.
I feel like the second I stop listening to this song, I'm gonna cry.
You're not already... What? What?
Okay, that was 86. Season 1, episode 21. We needed a second.
Yeah, my makeup ran blue like my tears.
It was
You
Lena.
need another second?
No. It was Lena, right?
Yeah. Why else would we get a shot to where the para-raid was? You know? Like...
I feel like I'm gonna be going back to a couple different episodes. I'm still on the verge of tears.
I think I will want to rewatch at least aspects of this past episode 21, just to like make sure, because the emotions were so high that I want to make sure I was like truly understanding and processing. Oh, that's a fun word for the show. Processing what was happening on like an actual like factual level.
Yeah,
like
give me a second.
Logic,
I need to rewatch
logistics.
something in episode 17. Hold on, I have it pulled up.
Is this the scene that we differ on, or at least did?
I think in hindsight, now with given the information in 21, there's a chance that it actually was Lena's voice getting through in episode 17 to like snap Shin out of it. If that's the case, then in 2 episodes in the past 4 or 5, Lena has saved Shin's life twice.
I think in that moment of that scene in episode 17, I felt that was my first read, and I felt confirmed in that theory when Lena says link with all, and she links with all of the 86, every single one of them. And in my mind, like I feel like it's so easy to then make the jump over to, it's so wired in their brains what's happening. That's why it's so dangerous to link and sync like this with people, that it makes so much sense to me.
I feel like Lena doesn't know it's Shin.
Yeah, I don't think the point would be for Lena to necessarily
Are
know.
we close to where... Is the same Field of Flowers the same one that we had previously parted from and left at while talking to Lena? Because if that's the case, that's fucking poetic as fuck.
What Field of Flowers?
Like, where we're at right now, currently around in the battle, are we near where we originally departed?
I feel like we should be where we were.
Yeah.
Because of the fact that we've already passed some landmarks of this journey into the unknown. And I feel like we were coming back toward...
So do you think that Lena is with the 86 right now, and they were just around and heard fighting and wanted to help?
I would feel like... Okay, so what we've learned in terms of all of the other countries trying to make contact with the Republic is that they're not getting a response back.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean that contact they've attempted to make hasn't been heard. Like, the Morpho, what it is, where it is, location-wise, how that's the thing we need to defeat. It's possible whether from some sort of otherworldly syncing up, some Lena still being synced with Shin in some way where she can receive messages or hear what
Shin
he
does
can
have
hear.
a pararray on.
He has like the Federacy's version of it.
But they use the pararray to examine
to make this technology probably, or like perfect it. I think that it's possible in a couple different ways for San Magnolia to have sussed out that the Morpho is a target, and honestly they were attacked by the Morpho, San Magnolia, so it could just purely be in their eyesight because they were attacked directly from it and they were like, we need to defeat that has a long range missile. So I definitely don't think it's necessary at all for Lena to have any idea of Shin being involved here in this instance, because it is not, like I've brought up with Lena before, if there is a romance involved here, that is icing on the cake. That is not the cake. You know? Like, Lena would still fight. It is not romance or wanting to save someone that she, without ever meeting, has a crush on. It is, she would do that regardless.
Yeah.
And so that's why I definitely think that her attacking here is just purely some other reason that she's deduced that the Morpho is an enemy to be attacked.
What episode did we get Lena's new involvement with the 86? Was it
the one where she links up with all of them?
Yeah. No. The one that she is like having personal conversations with that's reminiscent of when she used to with Shin.
Oh, like right after they leave?
Is it right after they
leave? I feel like it's literally the first it's the first episode you see Lena again after they leave. And I feel like there were a few episodes where we didn't get Lena at all for journeying, you know, into the unknown, and we just followed the 86, but I couldn't tell you which episode it was.
Yeah, so I need the info you give us. So Lena and Cyclops, their connection is so like positive that within that I imagine in my headcanon that Lena is in direct communication with Cyclops at the moment, potentially even with each other because of the fall of San Magnolia, and they saw or heard gunfire, assumed it was more of the 86 or their own forces, and then went to help. That's what I'm headcanoning right now.
Right. I mean, we don't know it's because of the destruction that happened to San Magnolia. We don't know exactly how their technology is holding up in terms of radar. Yeah. In terms of being able to figure out where targets are on the battlefield and how big they are. But it's also not lost on me what this specific attack on the Morpho looked like. And it takes me back to defeating Rey. Yeah. And we purposefully we knew that there were duds. Yeah. And we used that fact. And I'm pretty sure we see in this scene like that there were duds in the mix. Like, one of them almost turns into, like, this liquid when it opens
I think
up.
that was the intention of the explosive, right? It looked like it was...
kind of spill something flammable onto it.
It reminded me of, like, napalm.
Okay.
But, God, so much had to come together to defeat the Morpho, but I don't know what survives after the Morpho, because we have not only the self-destruct going off with Shin in direct, like,
literally, like
right inches, right? And I had hoped before then, because we get the depiction of Kiri and Rei leaving and Shin staying behind with Frederica, but obviously the explosion then comes after it. I'm worried for Shin. Raiden looked like he definitely died, or at least if like it was a direct hit. I'm worried of Theo, of course, and Karena. I was heartbroken that Karena is so in love that it's like, you got this, and she's almost weeping, like smiling, grinning, just like hearing that from Shin.
The confidence that she was given in that moment of like, this person is validating that you are important and useful and strong in that moment. Like, I bet you're gonna put up a really tough fight, you know, to the very end, is kind of, I feel like the energy she exuded, like that's what she felt like she had heard, was someone being like, you're gonna be really tough to beat.
I agree, but this is all getting to what I really want to talk about, and that's Anju.
But you brought up like so many things I'd want to talk about.
Okay, we can go back to them, but right now I want to talk about Anju. So with her falling, she says that like her own systems are fine, right? Mm-hmm. But we are shown on screen like concussion, blunt trauma, extensive damage, and she's like, system. I'm not damaged at all.
Yeah, because it's like vital system. So the system has taken extensive damage, and then she had blunt force trauma and concussion.
And she then has a moment that she says something that we cannot hear.
Yeah.
I think it's in episode 7 that we get Anju's back, as well as she has a similar moment of saying something in regards to Daya's death, I thought. And I wonder if it was like that through line that we got in this episode of like that coming to terms with Daya's death. And if so, is that like 100% confirmation that Anju's dead? Because if it is like that, that would be compelling to be Anju's death, but I don't want her to have died.
Is that really the picture? Is that really what the plot would do? Is that really make lines of dialogue come true? Like that line from Raiden to Frederica at the beginning of this episode about like leaving all of them with Shin.
Yeah.
And the idea of, we've been wondering, I mean, like, this is a suicide mission, but we have 4 people we want to come out of it alive.
Yeah.
You know? But there's really only one that narratively feels like they most likely should come out of it alive. And I'm like, would they really kill all of them? And I feel like for Anju's case, I feel like, but obviously before we see that Theo, you know, stays back, and then Karena, and then Raiden, then we see what happens to Raiden. And we obviously see that missile strike toward where Karena was. I feel like we are given an imagery to possibly take and run with it that Anju is dead. Or similar to that missile shot that we get, which is we're walking through the town before Theo separates with us, and we see the statue of like 4 people together, and one of them has, it might have been 5 people. I don't remember how many people were standing in a circle in the statue, but one of them has fallen basically off the pedestal as if like a cliff.
If it, in my mind, it was definitely Lena who did help Shin against the Morpho here. If that's the case, I know it was 15 kilometers, but there might lie potential that each member of Spearhead was like a breadcrumb leading Lena and the 86 to the Morpho, you know, and Cyclops. Like, and with that lies an opportunity that Lena and Cyclops could have Saved Anju before it was too late. Saved Theo. Saved Karena, you know?
Another thing to bring up in terms of people that could be coming in this moment following breadcrumbs, we do know that the older group of people under Wenzel's command were like, we're not gonna let the young kids come back and be like, you basically, like, they were like, we're not gonna leave them behind, like, even though we're old people compared to them. So that's also in the pocket, that the fact that there are other people that know where they are in this mission and were technically a part of that mission themselves.
I wonder what it would have been like in a perfect world where, like, Kiri doesn't die the way that he does. Was there ever potential of Kiri to meet with Rei and Shin in a perfect world? Because of their interaction through Frederica's perspective of them all together was so natural and so, like,
it's exactly what she thought it would be.
It looked like it was just, it wasn't like an image. It looked like, or like a fantasy. It looked like it was just like a real interaction that could have happened.
A real life family. Like, I mean, it's definitely that you're supposed to think about it in that way, where it feels so real and so true and so authentic, especially with the fact that in this episode we have Kiri multiple times bringing up the idea that this is a family relation, this is a comrade of his, and then even Frederica mirrors that with the idea that this is your comrade that you're fighting.
Yeah.
And to then see them actually interacting in that way, it makes complete sense, especially when everyone in this situation, all three of these people, they are all aware of the fact that they're all nose and blood, that's the same family line, and that they're also having parallel situations with, like, Rei and Shin, and then Frederica and Kiri.
Man, Frederica is so fucking cool. Like, I don't think I've had a character, like, I think 2 or 3 episodes after we were introduced to Frederica, I was sold. Like, holy shit, I can't believe I'm sold so quick.
The Christmas episode.
Yeah.
Was that the second episode, or
but
even...
to go to this extent, I never thought I'd love her as much as I do. Pulling Shin's gun on herself to cause a diversion, to get an opening, to create an opening for Shin, was one of the fucking coolest things I've ever seen. What an episode.
I don't know how you feel about this point, but I don't even feel like it's just diversion.
That's what happened, is what I was saying.
It's what happened, but, like, I'm trying to get your take on it. Like, we know how everyone in this world knows that if their head is intact, it could be taken from the Legion.
Yeah, definitely.
There is literal reasons why, if you thought you were gonna die here, you would want to take your head with you and make sure the Legion couldn't get it. Obviously, all that matters at the end of the day is that Kiri believed her in this moment. That's all that really matters. But she has such resolve in her face, and she also knows, through being able to not only watch and hear, she knows the reality of the battlefield thanks to her powers.
Yeah.
And she knows the reality of the Legion. And I feel like at the end of the day, she knows what she's holding in her hand and what she's pointing toward her head.
We're on the same page.
Completely.
I completely agree with you. I think one of my favorite moments of this entire episode was the perspective from Kiri, when everything's on fire and he's in the ground remembering the history that he went through, everything that he's lost, and you see his fingers, like, clawing at Shin and, like, the blood being left behind, and it resulting in those blue arms reaching out for Frederica. God, it was so fucking cool. Like, seeing him as the actual size of the Morpho reaching toward Shin.
And the battlefield has changed. In his mind, it's like he's still... Like, Shin is this little ant in the, like, Empire's, like, I don't know, garden, you know, outside of where Frederica lived. And he is still himself, almost, like, human in his mind. Wow. I feel like there was also, like, while we've talked about in the past couple minutes, like, obviously parallels between Rei and Shin's situation, Dakiri and Frederica. I feel like there's also, I mean, we can't ignore the fact that Raiden has brought up parallels between Lena and Frederica, and Shin's care for Lena, or what he doesn't realize, how he gets along with this person or agrees with this person or this person's ideals and how they might mirror that person, and how Frederica steps in here for Kiri and for Shin, and then Lena's also involved in this scene with all of them.
I think my favorite thing about relationships within the series right now is how firm and confident Shin's own beliefs are, paired with the lack of like well thought out connection between him and Lena, because it allows for this unknown to force interrupt into Shin's ideologies right here and where he's at mentally. Like, it's this unknown, unforeseen force from Shin's perspective that is the perfect counter to where he's at right now. It's beautiful.
Frederica is also a force within for both Shin and Kiri. This idea that like we see him so calm and peacefully fighting, as he says it. I'm not saying he looks calm and peaceful. I think he looks dead inside and empty and like a husk of a person as he's fighting. Cool, yeah, but not the look of like Zen peacefulness like he articulates that he's feeling. And one of the moments that shocked him out of it was we know that he's confident in his abilities in terms of his fighting and how quick he is, even though he knows that he's wearing down on the machine that he's inside when he fights the way that he does. And we know how he was left with only one bullet at the end, basically. And we have him being like, okay, well, close combat's where it's at for me. I'm moving, I'm agile. And we have Frederica be like,
yeah,
Kiri was also known for this. You're literally like in exactly where he would want you to be too.
You're playing into his hand. I'm like at a point that I'm like, there's so much left to do going forward. Yeah, we defeated Kiri in the Morpho, but there's so much like cleanup. Will Frederica's presence help with negotiations between the countries? Surely Lena's will, I'd assume, but like there's so much of a mess that San Magnolia has also created that dismounting from this scene is going to be there's a lot to do.
Yeah. Like San Magnolia won't be, in terms of a dismount, San Magnolia will, how are their people or the Alba specifically going to be handled by the rest of the world? Frederica's existence, how will it be handled by the Federacy when she was being purposefully kept a secret of who she was because of the fact that, as she says, she's the one that started this situation.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to get at. Like, if Frederica comes out with who she is, does that help in terms of like in terms of San Magnolia's rejoining or joining into the conversation?
Well, if you're gonna accept Frederica with open arms, then you probably should accept San Magnolia, at least with maybe some stipulations.
Well, no, I think that somebody within Frederica's position being tied to the initial cause, could hold weight.
Then being a part of the cleanup, like you're taking care of what you started, you're finishing it? Is that what you're getting at?
No, more like being able to have more power to speak on, like, why San Magnolia might have done what they did. Not to justify it or not to lessen it by any means, but just to be another voice in the conversation of what San Magnolia should be, or consequences on San Magnolia, what they should be. If any, Yeah. Just interesting to think about.
I wonder how Ernst would react to getting to meet at least Lena, someone from San Magnolia.
Yeah. Damn.
The idea that he would probably just want to destroy them all, similar to Jerome.
Is there any... I'm gonna be kind of pissed if Raiden's dead. It's great, I know, but, like, I love Raiden so much, and him coming back at all was fucking amazing. But he got in the way of shrapnel to save Frederica, and I'm like, please God, be able to smack the shit out of Shin at the end of this and be able to stand.
No.
You don't think...
I think that out of all of the characters, in my mind, plot-wise, it's okay for them all to survive except him in this scene because of what they did in this episode. I think, and with the last episode too, with him being the one that spoke to Shin the way that he did, the content of their words, they kept going back and forth about who was the one that should have Frederica and take her home and who should be leaving the battlefield. And we have then, from the culmination of all of that, we have Frederica be with Raiden and then be passed over, basically into Shin's care with Fido. And with Raiden not only shielding her and then passing her over, to then, in his, what could be seen as a dying action, jumping in to help guarantee the safety of both Shin and Frederica to the best of his ability. I feel like that character, especially because he was painted as this co-leader from the beginning of this series, like he was one of the leaders of all of the other people. Him and Shin go way back.
Yeah.
I feel like narratively, he is the one most out of all of the others that you would kill here.
Or Anju.
Anju for her own subplot. Anju for her own subplot of with Daya. It's then that, and what they showed us, the imagery of the statue. Theo, I don't think they might have given me enough for me to say the same thing I just said about Anju, in terms of, like, right in this moment, believing that there was enough subplot or imagery happening on the screen for me to be like, yes, it would make sense right now for him to die, or I feel like he's dead. Karena, they gave me that one shot. I don't know if it hit. I don't know what damage it necessarily would have done. But what they did give me for Karena, similar to the Anju or Raiden, what I said about Raiden, maybe more specifically about her getting that moment from Shin and the reaction on her face. Yeah.
I'll pray. I'll hope.
I can hope. A girl can dream. My last point that I just wanted to bring up again, because I think it was like my final thing that I was thinking at the very end of this episode, was that, like, I was almost holding on to this hope when I was seeing the self-destruct on the screen. I was holding on to this, especially because we were seeing similar imagery and similar things were happening to Rei's death, that Kiri would be able to, within his last action, undo this self-destruct.
Yeah. And
I was really thinking it was gonna happen, and we see an explosion. So it's like, okay,
I
probably
think,
not.
I think that, like, the reason I didn't think of that is, like, okay, Kiri at this point is gone because Shin just executed him. Mm-hmm. But the same thing that happened with Rei, I agree with you. Like, I was like, fuck, if there was, like, if he could have controlled the explosion in a certain way, like, if he could have done something to, like, put something in front of Shin, I don't know. I'm with you there, though.
In terms of, like, fighting, though, like, this does feel like, oh, this is exactly, we needed to defeat the Morpho. The Morpho could have literally, like, decimated everyone. Mm-hmm. But the Morpho's not the only... Our numbers have dwindled so much. And if the Legion is continuously learning and tactics we use against them, we can only use once because they continuously learn. We have the fact that Kiri was not top of the totem pole in terms of, like, who's in charge.
Like, he was being given commands.
He was being given commands. And I'm like, what other... Yeah, he was big and scary and had a long-range weapon. But there could be things that are stronger and different ahead of him. This battle's not over, is what I'm getting at.
But I think that with Lena involved, and if we're all together finally, then whatever is to come would be more easily handled.
Like when we're talking about how, we have these three group of people working together with the Federacy to achieve, victory here. We can't get a hold of like these other two.
Yeah.
But now we'll be linking up hopefully with San Magnolia, at least to some degree of like, we know that they're also still fighting. And maybe that's what needs to happen, is that more people fighting together.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, I'm still nervous though.
Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Please like, comment, subscribe, and we hope to see you next time.